The only thing that matters in business is relationships, because it's the thing that's going to make you or it's the thing that's going to break you. When you learn a system and the system all ties together across your strategy, your marketing, your sales, your operations, your people, your leadership, your data, your technology, your investment, all these things working together as a system, and all of a sudden everybody's speaking the same language, which means everyone understands it and they're all pulling it forward to make it work. This is Brandon Dawson. Welcome to another episode of Building Billions. Today I have Jake and Brent with me, and they are from GC Legacy Construction. And the reason I love featuring clients on the Building Billions podcast, especially business owners who have built businesses greater than 10 million, is because that is the backbone of America. Small business is the backbone of America. And if we can grow 1 million 10X business owners from a small business to a large or a mid-sized business, we get to go from employing millions of people to tens of millions of people, which is what every community needs. So I always love featuring you guys. Introduce yourself, tell them who you are and what you guys do in the business.
Jake Grossweiler. I'm the Vice President of Construction for GC Legacy Construction, co-owner. This is my brother-in-law.
So I'm Brent Card. I help with some of the back office stuff, but I'm a real estate developer and investor. So I'm part of our kind of end-to-end where I find properties, take them through, and then we build them. So
that's awesome. And so the kind of things you guys specialize in building, tell them what you specialize in building.
Yeah, so we our main client currently is Starbucks. So smaller retail, commercial construction is our forte, our expertise. I started from nothing, was a cleanup crew guy, and when I was 14 years old, and worked to be a framer and figured out the industry from there. Had some great mentors along the way.
That's awesome. So tell everybody how large your business is.
This year we're doing 16 million. We bought a plumbing company to help supplement some of our work too. So with that, we're 18 and a half this year.
I mean, you think about it, how long did it take you to go from startup to almost $20 million?
So we started in November of 2019, right before the pandemic.
Yep.
I had worked for previous employees that I had a relationship with a bunch of people at Starbucks. I thought I could go out on my own and get right back in with them. That ended up not being the case. And so for 2 years, I went out and scrounged up business from developers and survived, I guess you could say. And I ended up running into, I actually built a shell building for a developer in Cave Creek. And I ran into an old acquaintance from Starbucks, and he said he had moved up in the company and was able to sponsor me. They ended up giving us our vendor license to go back to work directly for them. So our first Starbucks project last year, in 2021, we did like 1.8 million. We did our first Starbucks in February last year. We did 10.3 million last year, and we're going to do
20 million or more. So look, I always love these stories because it's like people are like, oh, you got lucky. You ran into an old friend. Yeah, but you were putting yourself in play. You were starting the business already. You like had an old friend. Like some people don't value relationships. And you guys hear me say the only thing that matters in business is relationships, because it's the thing that's going to make you or it's the thing that's going to break you. So when you think about the speed in which you're having success, what was it that brought you to us at the whole Grant Cardone organization? What brought you to Cardone Ventures?
I think we kind of overextended ourselves this summer. We took on a little bit more work than we could, and we hired some people that we shouldn't have. And I got scared, honestly, that, you know, if I knew, because we're, as you call it, tall and narrow, if I screwed up my relationship with Starbucks that I had worked so hard to make, I didn't know what was going to happen to the business. And so I knew I needed to figure out a better way to scale. And I'd followed Ed Milet for a long time. And through that, I found Grant, and then it led me into this. And so I took a breakpoint survey on Instagram, and of course your team got a hold of me. And
of course.
And my one condition to go to the First Peoples was I wanted to get face-to-face with you. So I knew I needed a mentor that I could actually follow. And from my research of you, I knew you had a system that at least would help me.
So you go to our People Essentials, which is all geared around finding, attracting, aligning, developing, and retaining great people. And you go to that program, and then we get a chance to meet, and there you're like, you saw the whole business system that we offer, and you're like, oh my gosh, not only does this solve my people issue, but basically the whole spectrum of building a business. And so you guys were brave enough to be like, we're all in. We want to do everything you guys have to offer. We want to come alongside, do it as fast as possible, get specialized, customized, concierge type relationship with us. And how long has it been since we started that process?
We're 6 weeks in.
6 weeks in, and we're at another event already. What's your big takeaway in 6 weeks? When people say, how can you help anybody in 6 weeks? What would you say?
Oh man, it got rid of the stress. Like it renewed I regained my vision, right? Like I had lost focus on the big picture, and I was extremely frustrated with my employee maturity model, right? Like I
Or lack thereof.
Yeah, I couldn't give them the vision either. Like I knew I wanted to help them get where they wanted to go, and I had really good success with getting really great people. We've been really fortunate with that for the most part. We've had to trim some fat.
Of course.
I mean, I think one of our biggest wins in just is the culture, right? Like it's exciting to be around people that want to do big things in their businesses, and when you're around this environment and these people, like it just inspires you to keep being around it. And I think one of our biggest wins, we just released on Monday to our team, the whole team, that we had joined you guys, and we introduced daily team calls and one-on-ones and PPFs and set Card on You. Yeah, we started all
So 6 weeks, and you got all these acronyms. The people listening to this are like, what is a PPF? Personal, professional, financial goal planning for every employee. Card on You is our online training system to help elevate everyone's ability to perform better. The EMM is the employee maturity model, so it shows people how they can ascend in the organization, how they can earn more, the competencies, skill sets, contributions to the organization. A lot of organizational stuff happening in 6 weeks. And you just deployed it to your whole team, and how was it received?
I took your method of like trimming the fat, right? I just said, hey, if there's anybody in the organization that does not want to take part in what we're doing and how we're doing it, I'll give you 30 days severance. And we had 0 people leave.
And now they can't complain. Most business owners are like, I would never offer that because people would just cop out. It's like, you want to know those people that have copped out because you want them out as fast as possible. And when they don't cop out, now they can't say, I don't want to do it, because you gave them an option. And so people said, okay, we're in, man, let's go.
And we told them our 10-year goal is to get to 500 million. And our goal next year is 32. We're elite 125, so we're going to be at 125 in 5 years.
So now here's another, for people watching Building Billions with Brandon and guests, Elite 125 is our program designed specifically to engineer businesses on behalf of business owners that are staking a claim that they want to build a $125 million business. That's what Elite, as fast as possible.
Yeah. So we just surround ourselves with the environment, and we've been to numerous events. I was in Miami last week for the leadership. They went to the 9-figure boardroom.
Good.
My sister's been, our other business partner, my sister has been to the financials. We're going to BMLP. We're bringing our top 5 performers to People's Essentials in January when we're there for BMLP.
BMLP is Business Mastery Leadership Program. But what's crazy is you guys have got all these acronyms down. People are like, what are they saying? But here's the thing. It's only been 6 weeks. When you learn a system and the system all ties together across your strategy, your marketing, your sales, your operations, your people, your leadership, your data, your technology, your investment, all these things, the finance, all these things working together as a system, and all of a sudden, you can run a business on 290 acronyms, and everybody's speaking the same language, which means everyone understands it, and they're all pulling it forward to make it work. And you're just starting that journey. How confident are you about what's possible?
100% possible. Yeah. I mean,
all we have to do is do the work through your company, learn from these masters, including yourself, and the people you put around you to help us. All we have to do is what you lead us to do, and we'll get there 100%. If we fail, it's going to be on us, and we're comfortable with that. We're happy with, if we fail, it's 100% on us. I can take that to the bank. I'm we know we're in the right spot. There's been so many like this. When we signed up, this was not on the menu board, right? 9-figure boardroom for me was not on the menu board. 9-figure boardroom was as amazing as anything I've ever been to. Just little stuff like I quoted Ken Goodrich after that on LinkedIn. He direct messaged me and he said, if you want to brainstorm sometime, give me a call. I mean, Ken Goodrich talking to me and saying you can call me up. That would have never happened on my own. The belief lids, the operational lids, leadership lids, all that. We kind of knew where we wanted to go and we got good people, but we had no idea from there. Like we're at 16 million. Like we over promised, we built way too much and we didn't have the systems in place. So we're going back to the foundation, setting up role descriptions. How do you get to the next level? How do you get to a manager and then a director? We're doing our PPFs with everybody. One guy came to him, we gave him like 3-4 weeks. He came to him within days and like, here's my PPFs, let's talk about it. Everybody is excited and he can tell because he manages the day-to-day with the people. But everyone immediately was like, we cannot believe this is possible. Thank you for putting this in front of us. And comp plans, we knew we wanted to grow X. We knew we wanted to take and make our team members rich. We didn't know how to do it. We would have done it the wrong way, like you give them equity up front, like you said, happens all the time. Here's your equity up front before we produce. And then if we're stagnated, then they still have that. Because we have a big heart, we want to help them. And again, so incentive comp was a big one, and we're going to get way more detail, but you already told us this is how you do incentive comp.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many little technical things in growing a business. And most people do it wrong because, especially when you're going through hyper growth like you guys are, it's really easy to accidentally put the wrong pieces in place and you don't realize it until it catches up to you and then it's too late. So it's going to be a lot of fun tracking your guys' business. The reason I love to shoot these shows with $10 million, $20 million businesses, especially that are just starting to work out with us, because it's like the Silvas. When we started working with them, they were 3 million. Then they went to 8 million. Then they went to 22 million. Then they went to 33 million. Now we're going to 45 million. And we document all that over the course of 3 or 4 years. And it's so cool for people to get to watch and say, this is how exciting they were. They were 6 weeks in, but do we really believe it? And then a year from now, we're talking and you're like, yeah, we hit 38 million and we're doing this and we're doing that. And people see how you sound differently too, because in order to be bigger, you have to be a bigger person, right? You got to develop, you got to do things differently, you got to evolve. This is going to be really fun to watch. And because you guys are GCs and you are looking to add to your business things that can generate revenue, the other things that we discussed is we're going to be bringing you business concepts that we're going to want to partner with you on in your region, in your market. And instead of you guys trying to figure out what do we do next and how do we get another client, the way the 10X ecosystem's working, just like Ken saying, hey, hit me up if you want to talk. I mean, any friend of mine is a friend of Ken's, and any friend of Ken's is a friend of mine. And when you're in my community, that's how we treat each other. And that's why the guys show up and talk, and I go do things with them, because we have so much mutual respect for each other. But most importantly, the guys I surround myself with, we all have that respect for the entrepreneur, because we remember when we were there. So we just wish more people were open to speaking to us when we needed help, right? So it really makes this a cool system. But for certain, Grant and I just shot a podcast. For certain, we're going to go find the right business owners, bring in the right high-valued business concepts, and we're going to go dominate in their markets, because it's really, like you said, with how you got the Starbucks contract, it's going to boil down to relationships. Who knows who and who trusts who? And for that, I cannot wait for us to document where we're at next year and the following year. And from my mouth to your ears on Building Billions with Brandon, you're just going to continue to listen to entrepreneurs, watch them evolve, and watch them kill it. At some point, if you're listening to this show or you're watching this on YouTube, you may want to ask yourself, if you've not been to one of our events, what the hell am I waiting for? Yeah. You guys agree?
I agree. And if I can say one last thing.
Yes, of course.
With all sincerity, I appreciate you allowing us into the Elite 125.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, appreciate you.
I would also add that the one frustration that I've had since attending all these events is watching people not invest in themselves. Because the reality is, yes, we spent a significant amount of money on this program, but the reality is we invested in ourselves. And so all the business owners that I've talked to, they're like, oh, I don't know about $5,000 to go to this. I'm like, you're investing in yourself. So I think that's a huge.
Yeah, and you guys made a $500,000 decision. So when someone's not willing to make a $5,000 decision in themselves, it's not because they don't trust us. You guys know that. It's because they don't trust them, and they make bad decisions. So we're going to prove that out. And what we find are the ones that make the bigger investments, they have the biggest returns. Because they have the open mind to do good things. And when you do good things, it's okay for you to ask other people to do good things. But if you're going to hold your money so tight that you can't even make a $5,000 investment, you're not going to give your employee a $5,000 raise. Or you're not going to go spend $5,000 in marketing because you're scared and because you don't trust yourself. And that alone, if you're listening to the show, you buy the way you sell and you sell the way you buy. Once you decide, hey, you know what? I'm going to make big investment decisions to benefit me and my team and my company, you're going to be okay with your customers making big investment decisions. But if you're making small, hard decisions to do anything with your money, everyone you do business with is going to mirror what you do because like attracts like. So there you go, another episode of Building Billions with Brandon Dawson. Guys, thank you for joining me on my show. And next year, we're going to bring him back on and we're going to talk about what we're doing.